Hello, everyone, and welcome as we dive back into Sentinel Comics RPG, our Mystery Men campaign. I say campaign; it's going to be like a 6-issue arc or so. So we're in episode 4 of the Mystery Men, or issue 4, because everything that we're playing is a comic book. So this will be this week's issue. But before we get into all of that, first some introductions. My name is Trevor. I will be your GM tonight, the narrator, storyteller guy. And I am joined by two people, friends of old, who have gotten together to play through some DC multiverse comic fun. My first person to introduce, all the way from Austin, Texas. Tell us who you are and who you're playing.
Hey, I'm Chris Bradley calling in from Austin, Texas. I'm sponsored by Coca-Cola. And tonight I would like to talk about Coca-Cola-owned Topo Chico Ranch Water Hard Seltzer. When you've had a tough week reading too much about the OG contracts of Wizards of the Coast, pop a Topo Chico Hard Seltzer and forget all your troubles.
And just play a different game.
There you go.
Sentinel Comics. For the independent player and all of us.
There you go.
There you go.
That was hilarious and unscripted. So who are you playing tonight, Chris?
I am playing Starbuck. I am from another planet, and I am still learning how to treat women in the 1940s on Earth. But luckily, I have found a somewhat trustworthy person that hangs around in the city late at night in a coat that conceals maybe what he is or is not wearing. Sounds like a great idea.
Right. So you're playing Starbuck, the extraterrestrial that's come in to help, and we've seen some fun stuff with that. All right.
And hanging out with a really cool guy in an overcoat.
Really cool guy in an overcoat.
Up the side of the street.
There we go. All right. And then speaking of that guy in an overcoat, why don't you introduce yourself?
I too am No, I'm kidding. This is Read Comics.
Oh, I like
Love that.
Before anybody's like, did they get a contract with Coca-Cola?
How did you swing that? Yeah.
No, right? With our huge viewership, I feel like Conan O'Brien. So I play Agent Umbra. My name's Danny. I'm one of Trevor's good friends. Bosom buddies.
Some may say his best
soulmates, if you will.
We've been playing together since high school, so
yeah. So I play Agent Umbra. He's like this shadowy detective type guy who can teleport. He can turn invisible. He can walk through walls.
A ghost, if you will.
Yes.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're gonna do is now we've done a little bit of character introductions.
You play a character in this game.
Well, I play everybody. So I have
you play a character. Don't be shy.
Well, I had been helping you guys out with your assistant or your helper, Dr. Sasquatch, Dr.
Yes.
Michael Thompson, who's Dr. Sasquatch. But let's go ahead and do a quick recap. And we'll dive right back into the action because our last issue kind of left on a little bit of a cliffhanger. It's the first one we've had where you're like in the middle of the action. So in our last issue, we saw that they had done some investigating and had trying to find the Nazis that are operating in New York. Now remember, this is 1940. This is DC Comics multiverse, and what we're seeing is a very different timeline than is the standard fare. And some things are different. Things are changing. And so it's 1940. World is at war. The U.S. is not brought into it yet, but Nazis seem to be operating in New York City. And our two heroes and their friend, Dr. Thompson, Dr. Sasquatch, have been working together to kind of find out what's going on with this. They did some investigation in our last issue and found out that they were, the Nazis had some type of base or operation in the docks. Our heroes went there to investigate and found that they had all these barrels of this fluid that would turn into gas, and that they were somehow, the Nazis they were fighting were actually somewhat mind controlled. They're wearing these big gas masks, or forced to wear them, and they are mind controlled to follow their Nazi overlords. So all of these Nazi grunts that they've been seeing and fighting around town are actually just random people. They've been mind controlled. So they had a fight, and it was Agent Umbra who put all this together and went around and teleported around and pulled all the masks off of the Nazis in the middle of the combat. They did see that they were building or had assembling another of the big Panzer robots that we saw in our first issue, the big Nazi robot. And from fighting them, there was one mechanic that was working on the robot and was knocked out or knocked to the side by Agent Umbra. And then when he pulled the mask off, he kind of came to his senses and joined the heroes in their battle, saying like, "Hey, I'm going to fight the Nazis too." After combat ended, they found out that the mechanic was one person named Pat Dugan, who was actually somewhat of a superhero himself, and that the Nazis had stolen his idea, and that this Panzer unit was actually something he called Stripe. That he had been working as a sidekick of sorts with another superhero, but he had learned about the Nazi plan while being mind controlled. And he told the heroes that they had to get to the Chrysler building fast because they were getting ready to mass distribute this gas to the New York populace. And with that, Dr. Sasquatch was badly injured in the battle. He had to back off and said, "I'll go call the police. I'll call for help." So he ran off to his old beat-up Plymouth. And as the other heroes took off, as we saw Pat Dugan jump inside of the robot known as Stripe and lift off using the giant boosters under his mech as it flies out of the warehouse. In the final panel, we saw Agent Umbra riding on the back of Stripe and also Starbuck as they're flying towards the Chrysler building. And that is where the action is going to pick up. Is we went from one fight and now they're racing off as we will begin probably a 2-issue arc of what we're going to call the Battle of New York. So that is where we are starting tonight, is part 1. The Battle of New York. So as they are flying off to the Chrysler building, now we are opening up a comic book with the cover of the comic will be decided by the players at the end of the comic based on things that have happened. But the first panel is basically a continuation, a different angle of the shot we saw before. This one's probably behind as we see Stripe and the boosters, the fire coming out. We see the jacket flapping in behind as Agent Umbra is flying. We see Starbuck flying towards the Chrysler building. And in the distance, we see a giant Zeppelin. And in the tiny little dots you can see as they're flying closer to it, we see there's supposed to be people running on top of the Zeppelin as it's midair. It is actually leaving the Chrysler building as we speak and is now flying over the city. And that is where the action will start. So let's go ahead and dive in. We're going to kick up a little bit of music as we dive in. And now we're going to go to the Zeppelin. All right, so here is the Zeppelin as it flies over New York City. Big swastika symbols on the side of the Zeppelin because they're announcing their presence, that they are announcing the attack is now underway of New York City as this giant Zeppelin is now flying over New York. Stripe is flying in as we begin the action. You two are flying in, you're assessing the situation, and as you see several people running about the top of this. And they seem to be, as they're running, they're almost not even touching the top of it. It's almost like they're moving strangely as you see all of these Nazis, again, wearing the mask, wearing the breathing apparatuses as they're running. You see several dozen of these people running on top of this, but it seems to be like somehow or some force is keeping them somewhat tethered to the Zeppelin itself. You also see 2 other individuals running about. You see one giant individual standing there. You remember as you look above, you see that Solomon Grundy is on top of this Zeppelin as well. And another individual is there as well. And as you zoom in, as the panel, you look up and you see an individual wearing black robes. He has the silver hair and a long silver beard. And he is carrying this blade that you have been looking at, been searching for all the way back from issue 1. He's carrying Blackbeard's sword. And all of them are like running on top of this Zeppelin. And in the distance, you can see these little canisters canisters all around the side of the Zeppelin that are beginning to emit this green gas over the populace. So that is the scene. So now we're in the scene tracker, we're in combat. So we're going to start in green, and we're going to go from green to yellow to red. So it's up to the heroes to stop the Nazis before they dump the canisters over the entire population. So that is where we begin. So as we start, I'm going to go ahead and bring some. First, I do want to say as a reminder, as we're going to show everyone to remember that Solomon Grundy is running on top, so we've got to deal with him. So we have a situation where I think we haven't had this before, where there is multiple supervillains. So you have Solomon Grundy, a whole host of Nazi thugs, and finally we saw the one, and in the caption of the comic it says, and now the heroes must also deal with Silver Sage. And this is Silver Sage as he's standing above. You see him slightly hovering above, using some type of powers he has, but you see him hovering above the Zeppelin itself. And again, he is carrying the sword of Blackbeard. So that is the situation that we're in. Let me take a quick second. We're going to... now here's the thing, because it's going to be an aerial combat, we have a grid, we're not going to be using it as strict. This will be mainly theater of the mind. We're just going to kind of use the grid as kind of a little place of where everyone kind of is in the scene. But we are dealing with aerial combat on top of a Zeppelin over New York City. So a grid really doesn't work because we're dealing with multiple dimensions here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put Silver Sage right here. We're going to put Solomon Grundy there. And then let me get some Nazi thugs. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are a dozen of these guys. All right. I'm going to kind of move these about. All right. Oh, one too many. Okay. All right, and now let's go ahead and bring our heroes into play. We have the Mystery Men. We have Agent Umbra. We have Starbuck flying off the side. And down here at the bottom, we also have Stripe. Now, Stripe, we're going to make him a hair bigger. Okay? And Agent Umbra is on the back of Stripe. Okay? So we'll put you here. All right, so here's where we are. Now, we're all in the same zone, so you don't have to worry about, like, if you want to be somewhere, you can be there, using your different powers. We have the speed of Starbuck, Stripe flying in, might be a little bit slower, and then Agent Umbra can just teleport anywhere. All right, so as you're flying in, the Nazis are all running around. They're working the gas canisters. They seem to be unaware. And in the moment, you see Silver Sage pull out, and he pulls out his sword, and he's yelling out. You hear him goes, "Stop them!" And with that, we start the action. Now, acting first is Starbuck. We always kind of pick him because he has flight and speed of 10, a D10, which means that he's extremely fast. So as he's zooming in, he's the first one to act. So with that, the panel now zooms in as we see Starbuck. Now, Starbuck, what would you like to do?
I immediately see that this thing is like a big balloon.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to use my principle of the defender because I want to defend all the folks that are beneath that are being about to be attacked by these canisters. And I can see that what's going on. And there's only 3 of us and there's 20 of them. So I'm immediately going to swoop in and try to use the force of my flight to penetrate inside the balloon and fly into the balloon and pop out of the other side.
You're trying to pop the balloon itself. Love it. Okay.
Yes. And I have the principle of the defender where.
So this is what we're going to see. This is going to be an overcome. Okay. So let's roll. So come up with a dice pool. You're going to try to overcome the Zeppelin itself and see if you can penetrate into and disable the Zeppelin itself.
And would I be using my ability or?
So yeah, so the principle of the defender.
The principle of the defender, it says I overcome a situation requires me to hold the line and use my max die.
So yeah, so you're going to build a pool and use your max die since you're using that.
Okay.
So let's do your max die pool. So we're going to go to your heroes.
Yes.
All right, and let's pull up your abilities here. All right, so let's see. Max die, you're going to use flight. You said you're flying in. Qualities, I'm going to say heart. And then status is green. So D10, D8, and D8. So build. So click. Remember how we click? He's got flight.
Heart, and green.
And green. And then hit roll action dice. This will be the first roll of tonight. And let's see where we are. All right, we're using the max die. That is a 9. All right, so let me take a look here. 9. The action
so if you see me,
completely
I
succeeds.
immediately shoot through with just this massive beam that just causes a boom as I shoot through, and I actually pass the stripe through the speed.
Okay.
And I'm just doing this as I'm
Love
going
it. So you're just punching through, and as soon as you do it, there's a big explosion as the entire balloon begins to deflate, and now it's starting to. That's where we are. That's the panel. You fly through. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move you up to the other side as you kind of flown through. Now, who do you want to pass the action to?
I would like to pass the action to the stripe.
And at quick timeout, point of reference, everyone had 3 hero points from last game, and because you just used that ability, we now have 4 hero points. So everyone has 4 hero points to use. Okay, so with that, you fly through. There's an explosion. The Zeppelin is deflating as it's kind of falling, and now you said you're passing it to who?
The stripe.
Passing it to Stripe, and with that, the panel zooms in. We see Pat Dugan with his with his controls inside Stripe. He kind of pushes it forward. We see Stripe moving forward, and with that, you see him hit a button, and say, "Take this, Nazi thugs!" And he hits a button. And what the button is going to do is, let's go pull up his ability.
Not the button.
He's hitting the button. All right, he's going to use his Flames of Justice. He's going to attack using fire. It basically has a giant blowtorch. And he's going to use his max die and defend against... Hang on a second. Attack using fire and use your max die and defend against all attacks from that target. All right, so basically he's going to go and hit one of the Nazis with this. You know what? I'm going to take that back since this is a big attack. He's going after Grundy. All right, so he's going to go land, and he's going to take the fire and hit Grundy with it. So he's going to attack using fire. All right, so we're going to go fire. We're going to do, it's ranged combat, and we are in green. All right, so let's do his, this is for Stripe attacking Grundy. We're using the max die, which is 6. So now we've got to go to Grundy. And let's see. Grundy's, he's thick. All right. Reduce damage taken by physical and energy sources by 1 while in green zone because he's born on a Monday. I'm going to say flame is an energy. We'll take that. That's fair. All right, so he'll take. Well, I don't know. What do you think? Is fire energy?
I thought energy was like
electricity or something. Yeah, we'll say he takes the full damage. I like it. He also kind of has like a weird swamp plant vibe to him, and I think maybe fire is a good thing. So we'll do. I like that. We'll take 6.
He's a swamp thing?
Sort of. All right, let me make sure I hit that ability right. Let me go back and look at Stripe. It says attack using fire user max die and defend against all attacks from the target using your mid die until the start of next turn. So what was his mid die? Let's just remember that he is defending a 4 against Grundy. Okay. All right, so that's where Stripe is. Stripe is up here. He's going to be attacking Grundy. For the sake of argument, Grundy's a big guy. We're going to make Grundy bigger too. They're the 2 big heavy hitters. All right, so with that, we see he's basically flying up. He just got the big flamethrower attacking Grundy. Grundy kind of catches fire. And with that, Stripe is going to pass the action to Grundy. Okay, and with that, Grundy, because he's defending against him, Grundy's going to make the attack back. We're going to go to Grundy. And Grundy, let's see. Grundy Smash. Attack using Strength. Use your max mid and min die. Hinder yourself using your max die. Take damage equal to the other 2. So he's doing a giant smash. He jumps up, and you see there's some type of energy field around him that's allowing him to kind of like jump off his own energy. He's basically Mario double jumping in the sky as he jumps up. So he's going to attack using his strength, close combat, and we are in green. And we're going to roll the action dice, and he's going to attack with all of them, but he hinders himself with max and takes damage equal to the other 2. All right. All right, so he's going to hit 4, 6, 10, 13, but Stripe had prevented 4 of that, so he's only going to take 9. Grundy is then going to take 7 himself from the attack. He hurts himself in the process. And what was the other ability that does? I'm trying to remember all this here. He hinders himself using the max die. The max die is a 6, and that's going to be good for a -2. Okay.
Chart.
Yeah, that's using the chart. All right. With that, Grundy smashes into Stripe, and then so now the 2 big titans are fighting each other. And with that, Grundy passes to the Silver Sage, and Silver Sage is going to use one of his abilities. What he is going to do. He's going to use Bellowing Blast. He uses his sword. He kind of swings it around like this. This energy like comes out from him. He's going to hinder all opponents that can see or him using Imposing as he shouts back like, "Get away from me!" And he's going to boost himself using the max die. So he's going to hinder everybody and then boost himself. So he's going to use Telekinesis. He's going to use Imposing. Oh, I should have added this. 1 second. Okay, so we're going to go here, here, here. All right, we're going to roll the action dice. And he's going to hinder and then boost himself. So whatever the mid die is the hinder. So what is that?
6.
6. All right, so everybody in the scene basically is getting like this telekinesis like push and like dragging, and everyone's going to have a -2 on them. And then he is going to boost himself as well for 2. So he's boosting. And then everyone else will be taking a -2. So Stripe is -2. Umbra is -2. And with that, he is going to pass his action to Agent Umbra.
Oh, nice.
Say I want to, I got
You're
2
technically, yeah, you would be with Stripe.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I wanted to remove masks, overcome with that, or even like teleport these guys to like buildings we're flying over,
You
that'd be an
can.
overcome.
It is an overcome. So basically what you can do is you're going to, like you did before, you want to try to save the civilians. You're too far up. You could like to teleport them to you're really high up, but you could teleport around, and based on your number based on your roll is how many you can try to jump between. So let's do an overcome, and let's build a dice pool. So you're going to try to basically, instead of attacking, you're going to teleport them around. Okay. So your dice pool is going to be teleport, and what else?
Close combat, since I'm getting all up.
Do you have conviction or no? Is that your other character?
That was my other character.
Let's see. What would... I like close combat. I think close combat's fine. You're getting in there. So teleportation, close combat, and we're in green.
Let me roll.
All right, so we take the mid die, which is a 4. You're hindered from all of this, so the -2 comes into play.
Wait. No,
Hang on, you have an ability for that?
Yeah, remove a penalty on yourself.
But what's it called? What's it called?
It's called Shrug Off.
So the shadows, you basically like jump into the shadows instantaneously and shrug off this hindrance, so that's negated. And then you do this ability. Hang on, let me put... Okay, so 4. All right, so what that does... okay, the action succeeds, but with a minor twist. All right, so what I'm going to say you do, I'm going to say you get 4 of them. Okay, so we're going to put, hang on. Yeah, we'll go 4. So we're going to put little dots on the ones that you got. Sorry. I'm hitting the wrong button. Okay. I'm just any dot will do. Just so we know. Okay. So those four, you're jumping around. They were all kind of close together. You start pulling them off. But the minor twist is Silver Sage sees you doing this, and he thinks extremely fast, and he immediately calls out to the other Nazis, "Stop him!" And with that, the twist is you are now going to be targeted by the Nazis. Also, the Nazis are the last ones to act in this round. So as you go, you will now be passing your action to the Nazis. With that, the other 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Nazis are now going to open fire on Agent Umbra. So we're going to have 5. So that's going to be 10, 14, 15, and then 21. 21. Now, we haven't seen Agent Umbra yet take a whole bunch of a beating, but here comes 21 points of gunfire. What do you have?
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a reaction.
Okay.
It's called Takes a Lickin'.
Like it.
And roll a d4 if we're in green.
Which we are.
And let's see, reduce the damage you take by that value, and another target hits it. So basically, I dodge out of the way of a bullet, and it hits another guy.
Perfect. Okay,
We'll
so from 21, we go down to 19.
Yeah.
So that's going to put you at math.
What, 13?
13. Yeah. So you
Math is hard.
Huh?
Math is hard.
Math is hard. All right, so you take 2 points of damage to this guy. He needs to make a save on that. 2. So he does not take damage.
Okay.
Okay. But you did shirk it off. All right. With that...
Ooh, I'm yellow now. Ooh.
Yeah, you're in yellow now. All right. With that, we go to the Nazis. And the Nazis are going to end the round, and they're going to pass their action at the start of the next round to Silver Sage. So they're going to kind of combo and put Silver Sage at the start of the next round. But before we do that, we have some environment actions to happen. The first action is the environment itself. Let me pull it up. We have strange weather that seems to be happening as dark, strange clouds are emanating. And all of a sudden, all heroes are hindered using a D6 and are pushed, there's basically harrowing winds begin to kick about, and we see Silver Sage kind of pulling the sword, and as he's pulling the sword around, strange winds are emanating around. Also, as the Zeppelin is kind of deflated and stopped, it's actually being held in mid-air. It's no longer progressing and moving forward. It's just stuck there as all the he's using the wind to not only hinder everyone else but also to hold it into place. So Starbuck's action was still successful. You stopped it. It's no longer like circling Manhattan. It's just stuck in this spot. And Silver Sage seems to be holding all of this together. So I'm going to roll a d6, and that's going to be the hindrance that's going to fall on everybody. 3, that's going to be enough for -1. So Stripe, that is cumulative, is going to go up to -3. Oops. Just to kind of remember. And then Starbuck, you also as well. Let's go. You're going to have a -3 to your next thing because of all the hindrances. Also, in the midst...
I'm being hindered by the wind?
Yes. So first you got hindered by the telekinesis of Silver Sage, and also the wind is just kind of pushing you around. So there's a lot of hindering, because he's a type of villain we haven't seen before. He's got a different archetype that we have. We've seen the Bruisers. We haven't seen this guy. So this is a different archetype we've seen. All right, so now before we go into the next round, we do have a story event that's going to happen in between. So after the end of the round, we're having, this is basically kind of like kicking in the top of that. As the clouds are dark and everything around us kind of gets just dire. We see the bullets going through Agent Umbra. We see that the situation's getting really bad. And with that, as the darkness of the cloud, there seems to be a voice that echoes and booms through. And as that voice echoes, we see a giant, the big word bubble basically we're at the end of the page. At the bottom of the page, we see a word bubble. And the word bubble says, "In brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight." And as we turn the page in the comic, we get a big, like, 2-page, like you hold it up, as we finally get to see the arrival of the Green Lantern. We've been teasing it. We've been talking about it.
Nice.
But here's the image as Alan Scott, the Green Lantern, has made his appearance. He's flying through the clouds. There's this green aura that's completely surrounding around him as he has both the ring and his lantern in tow as he's now flying towards. And now we're going to add the Green Lantern to the battle.
Did we hear that?
Oh, yeah. There's a booming sound as he comes in.
That's
All right.
cool.
So now we have the Green Lantern is flying in. Okay. So as the Green Lantern flies in, he's going to be added to the scene. He's flying in, but the first thing that happens is Silver Sage. And as Silver Sage is going first, he is going to use his sword again to do something really nefarious. He, with his ability, is going to advance the scene tracker using his sword. He can actually control the scene with his sword. And now what happens is we go from green, we have now into yellow. Like, he's actually pushed it all the way into yellow. So now everyone is now in yellow as he's basically using that, and what's happening is he's basically crushing the canisters, and the gas is beginning to emanate faster over this part of Manhattan. So now we've moved into the yellow as Green Lantern appears, as Silver Sage is kind of pushing the envelope of trying to make sure that they get as much of this gas in the atmosphere as possible. So that is his turn. With that, he surveying the scene. He's going to pass the action to Starbuck.
Wow. I'm going to have to do, I'm going to do a boost. I'm going to do my modification wave now that we're in yellow.
Okay.
That's an action where I boost a boost of Hinder using Cosmic, and I'll apply my mods to multiple targets. When another hero is in the yellow or red zone, would take
boost or hinder using Cosmic and apply that mod to multiple nearby targets. All right, so are you? Yeah. Which one are you doing? Are you boosting or hindering?
It just says multiple targets.
Correct.
It doesn't say how many.
Correct. But do you want to boost your allies or do you want to hinder your foes?
I want to hinder everybody.
Okay, so with that, here's the thing. I'm going to say that you can get all the villains in the scene. I'm going to tell you why. As the Green Lantern shows up, your powers seem to grow with the presence of the Green Lantern because he's bringing the power of Oa.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
I've been expecting this, right?
Yes, right. So he
and
shows
I immediately just put my feet on my as I'm flying. I do this. I'm like, right, and it just hits the entire Hindenburg.
Perfect. I love it. All right, so let's go ahead and make the dice roll.
Okay.
All right.
So that would be
boost using. So you have to build a pool. So let's go Cosmic. Let's go Heart. And then let's go. You're in yellow.
All right. Could I use otherworldly methods?
Yes, absolutely. No. You would here.
Because
actually,
I know what's happening.
No. This is deep space knowledge.
Yeah.
This is deep space knowledge. Yeah.
All right, Cosmic, otherworldly mythos, and then yellow.
Or, yeah, either way. Either one of those works. Okay? You understand what's happening with the power of the lantern.
Oh, deep space knowledge is what you were thinking.
Yeah. I like that.
All right, here we go.
Okay, so we're taking the mid die, correct?
Apply the mod to multiple targets.
So that's a 6. All right, so it's going to be a -2. So all of the villains in the scene are going to have a -2. Now, we're really going to have to look at Grundy because he's now a minus. Well, he should be. Hang on a second. Should be -4. All right, so I'm instead of, for time's sake, I just know that all of the Nazis have a -2. But we also want to put it on Silver Sage as well because he had a +2 and now he has a -2. So that puts him at 0. All right, so that it kind of like cancels out his boost that he had. All right.
Aw.
Aww. All right, so here's the question. Who do you want to pass the action to? Is there anything else that ability does that we need to know about?
Not that I wrote down. Boost of Hinder using Cosmic.
I love that.
And apply the mod to multiple targets.
All right, so this is just an energy wave that just blows through and hits everybody. All right,
Yes,
with that, who are you
I
passing the
think
action
I'm
to?
gonna have to pass it to. But I'm gonna do that because I'm trying to give an advantage to the whatever the Green Lantern's about to do.
So you want to pass it to Green Lantern?
I do.
Okay. All right.
More than anything in my soul, I want that.
Oh, you want that? All right. So the Green Lantern's in yellow. All right. Let's see.
And I just want to say he's really pissed.
He is. All right, because he's in yellow, he's going to use an ability. He's going to attack multiple targets using Cosmic. Use your mid die against each target. All right, but he also takes irreducible damage equal to mid die. It actually hurts him. He's actually pulling so much power to do this. He's going to hit all the villains in the scene. And what you see is as he pulls the Lantern and the Ring together, what you see is he pulls like all these... using his mind and his will, he pulls all of these missiles up out, and they all start flying. These green missiles are all flying towards all of the Nazis. It's flying to Grundy. It's flying to Silver Sage, and you just see him just basically controlling all of this with his mind. And the name of this ability is "No evil shall escape my sight."
Yeah.
I like this guy.
All right, so Cosmic. He's going to use this Cosmic, but his quality is going to be creativity or willpower. We'll go willpower. And then he's in yellow. All right. So here's the roll. So this is attack. We're going to take the mid die, and it's going to apply it to each target. And the mid for this is a 3. He wasn't boosted, so it's just a 3. All right, but here's the thing. All of these Nazis have a -2 because of your modification wave. So they have to make a save. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 8. All right, so let's have 8 saves as they all are taking 3 from the Green Lantern. Oh, that's wrong dice. Forget that.
It was really cool.
It would have been cool. All right. So of those 5, only 1 passes it. So we're going to degrade 4 of them. So this guy here is a 4. This guy
Now,
here.
are they 6 minions? Because that means they're completely out.
What's the minion name? Hold up. Let me refer. Minions.
If they're
Minions,
6,
if
they're
they
out.
roll equal to or higher than damage, they succeed their save and their die only. Oh wait, if not, they are removed. Oh no, you're right.
Yeah, that's a cool rule because basically,
You're right. So he takes out 4 of them. Good call. I always
yeah,
get a little confused on that.
I call that that modification wave. I'm gonna start calling it the alley oop.
I like that. I like that. All right, one of them makes the save. He's degraded. I think we did this wrong last turn with Danny. Whenever he hit, no,
Yeah, because they're out.
no, he didn't. He didn't hurt them. They're out because they took the mask off. So we didn't do it wrong. Okay, so this guy's degraded. We still have 3 more to roll. Okay.
How dare you degrade them, Danny?
All right, with the -2, 2 of them fail. Hang on, so these guys are gone. And this guy right here is degraded. Okay. All right. So with that, you see Nazis flying everywhere, basically. Silver Sage is going to take 3. And Grundy is going to take 3 as well, but this is energy, so he will reduce that damage by 2 now because he's in yellow. So he only takes 1 damage. So 30.
Nice.
Okay. With that, he is now going to pass his action to the Nazis. They are going to... one is going to return fire to Green Lantern. He shoots his gun for 2 points of damage. It worthlessly bounces off his green aura as he is indestructible to those types of things. The other one is going to take a shot at Starbuck.
Uh-oh. Not indestructible. But
1 damage. Every time I hit Starbuck lately, it's for 1 damage. You know, I just realized, Chris, you were hindered on that last one. It should have been a minus.
It was a minus. I was hindered, me personally.
Yes. Tell you what.
Correct.
I
No,
messed it
play
up.
the rule.
No. We're way past that. Your hindrance will basically carry on to the next one. You blinked.
Wait, you're saying my hindrance to an attack, so I got a minus on my attacks?
You should have had a -3 to your modification wave. So instead of it being 6, it should have been 3. They would have had a -1. And you know what? It's not that big a difference. It's a 1 difference. It's fine. All right, so we'll say you went ahead and used it.
I mean, they are under the influence of gas masks. That's
They
probably
are.
like a 1.
That's at least, right. Okay. All right, so
If we want to be realistic.
working as intended. Working as intended. All right. All right, with that, we now move to oh, sorry. My watch is telling me it's time to get ready for bed. Stupid
watch?
Apple Watch.
Your watch?
Yeah, I know, it's pretty funny.
This scene sponsored by the new Apple Watch Ultra.
Right. All right. Okay. So, man, we've got Coca-Cola and Apple. We're big time. We're big time.
We really are.
We really are.
I mean,
all right. Okay, so with that, we now move to Green Lantern's move. He passed to the Nazis. The Nazis are now going to pass to Stripe. And
I think he named it Nazis.
So now we're going to go to Stripe. All right, so Stripe. Let's see what we've got here. Stripe, he's going to use his All-Star Special. He's going to attack using Strength. If he's in green status, use your max die. If you're in yellow status, use max and mid die. All right, so he gets to punch with both his max and mid die. So he's going to be using Strength. He's going to use Close Combat. He's in yellow. And let's roll some dice. So max and min. He is hindered for -3. So max is 7. Min is, that's going to be 8. So this is only a 5. But the hindrance is to go away. So he's 5. And then I believe Grundy's kind of tough, if I do recall. Let's go take a look. Doesn't he have an ability that says I take less damage? So instead of 5, he's born on a Monday. Reduce 1 while in green zone, 2 while in yellow. So instead of 5, he's taking 3. All right. With that, Stripe is going to pass it right back to Grundy. Grundy now has a -4. Let's see, what's he going to do? Actually, he's going to, when he got punched, he's going to use his reaction. When attacked, use the amount of damage taken by the attack to boost yourself. So he took 4. That's enough to get him a +2 boost. So instead of a -4 here, he's got a -2.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. Okay, anyway, 2. All right. And with that, what's he going to do? What's he going to do?
What's he going to do when he comes for you?
He's going to use Grundy's Slam. He's going to hinder him using his Strength. He's going to use his max die. And then he's also going to attack using the mid and min. Yeah, so big attack. So here it goes. So we're going to go Strength, Close Combat. He's yellow. So it's max damage. No, sorry, max hindrance. And then mid and min is the... I got you. I know what I'm doing. All right. Ooh. 8 for the hindrance. That's a -3 to Stripe. He's doing some serious damage. He cracked Stripe open. You can see Pat Dugan kind of inside it as the machine's kind of tearing apart. And he does 12 damage to him. So that's going to put him up to 21 damage taken. I need to go take a look at Stripe. Okay. Stripe hurting. Stripe's hurting. All right. With that, Grundy's going to pass it to Agent Umbra.
Right, so I'm going to go ahead and overcome and get these last 2 gas masks off if I can.
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
All right, so that's going to be, we're using the 3, and you're not hindered at all because you're in the shadow. I love the fact you're almost like immune to that. It's great. All right, so yeah, I'll give that to you. You are successful with a minor twist. You have drawn the attention of one Silver Sage as you end over here. But these
Right.
guys, so we no longer have minions. Agent Umbra has taken care of the minions. But we go to
All right.
the environment, is where
Oh,
we are,
yeah.
as you ended. All right, so let's go to the environment. What's the environment going to do? The strange weather. The hero closest to the supervillain takes D8 and is knocked back. So there's lightning hits Agent Umbra since you're closest to him, and you're going to take 8 damage. You have not used your reaction yet if you want to hit the deck. Or do you have anything else that you want to use? Because it's still kind of in the round.
Ooh. Okay. I can use takes a licking. It says when you would be dealt damage. It doesn't say by what.
That's true. Yeah. All right. So do your D4.
D6.
A
It's a
D6. Oh god, you defend for 5. So you're only going to take 3.
And I'm going to redirect that damage at Silver Sage.
That is awesome. All right, so you only take 3. That puts you at 10. Silver Sage is now going to take 5. As the electricity basically redirect the shadows back to him. As you do that, the lightning hits into him. You see him kind of momentarily drop, and as he does that, he kind of catches himself. The Zeppelin drops about 20 feet, and all of the Nazis begin to fall. So all of the Nazis that are civilians are now falling out of the sky as he's momentarily lost his concentration. So what we have now, let me explain the same as we start the round. The round, you ended the round, so you get to decide who goes first. But what's happening now is the Zeppelin is falling a little bit, but the Nazis that are now just civilians, those 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, they're now just civilians falling out of the sky. With that, who do you want to pass your action to?
Myself.
Okay.
And I'm going to...
That's right, you can do that because we're starting a new round.
Yeah, new round. I'm going to try to overcome and get these guys who are falling, as many as I can, back into the Zeppelin.
Because there's basically like a bottom part, like you can kind of get them in there.
Like there's doors. I see the doors.
All right, so you're basically gonna teleport around. All right, go for it.
I'm gonna add my +4 to this.
Oh, you're gonna use your
Oh, all of them.
I love it. He's gonna try to save. He's using his hero points. He's using all 4 of his hero points. He's gonna dig deep into his power and try to really time and space teleport around and try to see how many of these guys he can save. Holy cow! That is a 10. The action completely succeeds. You're able to, it's basically like a full page here of you see Umbra just like jumping around. He catches a guy, he teleports back in there. He catches a guy, he's basically like ping-ponging back and forth. And you see all these different panels of him like basically jumping around, grabbing all these guys. You're able to get all of the civilians that were about to fall and bring them safely back inside the compartment, basically like the piloting area of the ship. And then so you're going to end, you're in there with them, but you've got all of there were 3, 4, 5, there were 6 of these guys still left that you were able to save. Some of them are falling out of the scene, basically, because they got hit with the other thing, but you saved who you could. You saved who you could. All right, but we are going to go ahead and remove them from the scene. We'll get the clutter out. Umbra, you're going to be down here, and we're going to go ahead and... All right, with that... Who are you passing the action to?
I'll give it to Starbuck.
Okay. So Starbuck, now we're just down to Silver Sage and Grundy.
I am going to attack using flight. It's called a strike and swoop.
Okay.
And I also get to defend against all attacks using my men die until my next turn.
Love it. All right, so let me take a look. So who are you using this against?
Grundy.
Going for Grundy. Round 2. Strike and swoop. All right, so attack using flight and defend against all attacks using your men die until next turn. Love it. All right, so let's build an attack. That'll be flight.
Flight, heart, and we're still in the yellow.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Be a Kashan.
Which dice do we use for this?
It says that we attack used in flight, defend against all attacks used in men. We use the 4.
The mid. Okay, so 4. All right. So you hit him. As you smack, he's extremely hard. You break through part of his skin, but he's still born on a Monday. So instead of 4 damage, you do 2.
Nice. I expected it such, and I'm a little caught off guard just because of the Hindenburg is falling.
Slightly. He caught it.
Go.
Slide it. Let's see. But I believe we may have a reaction from Mr. Grundy.
Well, just keep in mind that I get to use I get to defend against all attacks using my.
All right, he's going to use Grundy Mad. When attacked, use the amount of damage taken by the attack to boost yourself. He's going to give him a 1-point boost. So that he went from a -2 to a +1.
Okay, and I get to defend myself with a 1.
No, he's boosting himself. He's not. He hasn't attacked yet. So
Okay.
yeah, I got you. You will get to defend yourself with the 1 if he chooses to attack you. Right now, he's just getting mad. Grundy mad. All right. So who are you passing the attacks? So far in this round, we've had Agent Umbra has gone.
Grundy. I think we got to go to Grundy.
All right. With that, Grundy is going to turn around. The air. He's tearing into Stripe. You go and punch him. He's mad. He's going to turn around. He's going to attack you. He's going after Starbuck, the big shiny guy. He remembers you from that battle in the street. And Grundy, remember. And with that,
Grundy, remember.
He's going to Grundy slam. He's going to use this again. He's going to hinder using his strength and use his max die. And you're going to take the mid and the min. You do get your defense here. So he's going to go strength. He's going to go close combat. And we are in yellow. We're going to roll the dice. And so the big die is the hindrance, which is a 5. That's enough for a -2 as you kind of get knocked back by the attack. And then he's hitting you for 5. Now you're going to reduce that by 1 because basically you're flying out of the way, the defense from your action. So you're going to take 4.
Awesome. Gotcha. So I'm at 5 points of damage at this point.
Correct. Okay. You're counting up. I'm counting down on the screen. It's fun. All right. With that, Grundy is going to pass it to... let's pass it to Stripe. Stripe is going to... I think he's using his all-star special again. He's going to attack using strength. We're in yellow, so he's going to max and min for the attack. So we're going strength. We're going close combat. We're in yellow. Max and min damage coming at Grundy. But Stripe is hindered -3. So max and min is going to be 7. We're going to drop that down to 4. And then Grundy's born on a Monday. He's going to reduce 2 of that, so he only takes 2. He's the tank. He's tanking everybody. And here's the thing. He's not standing on anything. He's basically got some type of energy telekinesis field that he's basically using to stand in midair and fight you guys and jump around. Right. With that, Stripe is passing the action to Green Lantern. Green Lantern then sees the ones that he hit with the missiles that are basically knocked unconscious and fall into the city. He zooms down. Using his ring, he creates a giant net to try to catch the ones that were hit with the missiles as he realizes they're civilians. So you see him like pulling out his ring, creating a giant net. So this will be an overcome. So let's go build a dice for him to see if he can catch them. Let's see. Actually, neither one. Okay. All right. So this is going to be. He's going to use his ring. He's going to use his conviction. He's got to catch these guys, and then he's in yellow. All right. So this is a mid to see if he can catch these guys or not. 4. I will say yes, he does. Now, the minor twist, he's going to be a little bit further out of the scene for a second, so it's going to take him a second to get back. But he goes down, he flies down, he's basically in the season. He leaves the zone, basically. He's down in the next zone, and he catches these guys before they hit the street. So that's the twist is he may be out for a second as he's saving the civilians, okay? So that's where he's at. So he's flying down this way to save everybody. All right. With that, he's going to pass the action back up top, and that's going to go to Silver Sage. I believe he's the last one of the action. He has not acted this round. And Silver Sage is going to do this awesome thing. First, he's going to use his Bellowing Blast to hinder all opponents that he can see or hear him and boost using his max die. So let's see. We're going to go with Telekinesis. He's going to go with Imposing. All right. All right, so the mid is the hinder, which is, it's only a 2, and he's boosting himself with force. He's going to boost himself for +2. And then he's going to hinder everybody. So everyone else gets a -1 with his hindrance. Starbuck, that's going to put you down to -3.
Okay.
Just trying to keep up with it here. Stripe is a -1.
I still have my. I get a +1 on my until the next turn.
Right. We're not attacking you. All right.
Okay.
It will not affect Green Lantern. He's in a different zone. All right. Now we go to the environment. The environment is going to now press again. It's just going to advance to a second yellow zone. So we're kind of getting closer to the red, but that's the environment. The environment, basically what's happening now is the Zeppelin is falling a little bit and gas is beginning to get into the atmosphere. The strange winds of the situation of the scene are beginning to press the gas into lower Manhattan. So as that's kind of what we're getting. They're trying to mind control masses in New York. And with that, we go to the top of the round. Silver Sage is going to pass the action back. He will start the round. And as he starts the round, he has another ability he's going to bust out. He's going to use Lightning Drain. Each hero loses health equal to the total penalties on them, and he recovers the same amount of health. So he basically throws hindrances out on everybody. You take damage equal to that, and he heals off of all of that. So Umbra, you're going to take 1. Starbuck is going to take 3. And it hasn't got to your turn yet.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I don't think I took it last time because I was up under. Wasn't it? Doesn't he have to see or hear?
You know what? You have to hear him, and he has a bellowing voice.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so that's 3, 4, 5. So okay. So Stripe takes another 1. I'm counting up on summon.
Dude.
It is cool. So cool. So you only took 1. You're at 9, but he heals for 3, 4, 5. So he heals for 5.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. With that, that passes his scene. He's now going to pass the action to Starbuck.
Right. At this point, I am in the yellow as well, but I was already in yellow. I'm going to do the same strike and swoop at Grundy again.
Go for it. The old fisticuffs.
Yep.
Okay.
Awesome. So that's flight. That is heart. And I'm in yellow.
Yes.
All right. Where is it? Attack user flight defend. Okay. So
I get to 8, and then I get a 6 on my defense.
You got a 9. Oh, 8. Yeah. So 8 for the damage. Wow, that's a smack. All right. He's still born on a Monday. He's going to take 2 less. So he still takes 6.
Yes, he will.
And then you can defend yourself for up to 6. He is going to get mad, and for all the damage that he took, which was 6, he's going to boost himself. So that's going to be another +2. So he's now +3.
All right.
That's a reaction.
Yeah, he's used his reaction. And so yeah, he can indirectly just reduce damage, and he has a reaction to defend and boost himself, or not? Yeah, just to boost himself off of the damage. All right, who are you passing the action to? You've got Umbra, Grundy, Stripe, Lantern.
Lantern.
Okay. He is going to be. Let me see if he. Do I have anything to get him up here? All right. he is going to basically, like, you hear like a boom as he flies back up. He's going to enter the next zone. As he does, he's going to use another ability. We're in the yellow that we haven't seen yet.
Okay.
And this ability is called Beware My Power, Green Lantern's Light. And as he's pulling out his lantern, and he charges his ring, and he's going to go up and basically punch Grundy as he's flying up. And as he does that, he's going to attack using his power ring. Use your max die. If you choose another hero to go next, boost that hero using your mid die. So some of that energy is going to go to Agent Umbra, he's going to go first. So first he makes his attack with his max. So we're going to go Power Ring. We're going to go with Willpower, and then we're going to go Leadership on this because he's kind of controlling the ability. So Leadership and then Yellow. So this is going to be a max die attack and then boost you with the mid. The max is an 8 and the mid is an 8. All right, so Umbra, you're going to get a +3. And he's going to do 8 to Grundy. Grundy is still born on a Monday, so he's going to take... No, yeah, he can with this. Yeah, he's going to take 6 instead. All right, but he can't use his reaction. He's already used it. So now he's up here, and as he does it, you just see, like, as the energy comes out, it just gets bigger and bigger, and you see, like, a giant fist come out. Like a green fist, like cover as he like punches Grundy with a giant green fist. With that, some of the residual energy of the ring begins to envelop around Agent Umbra as he's boosted from this scene. And with that, the action now goes to Agent Umbra.
All right, I'm gonna teleport up to Grundy, and I'm in red, so I'm going to.
Oh, that's right, because you're at 9.
He can destroy on him.
Okay.
Ooh,
we got the big guns.
Use your max and min dice. And ignore all penalties, blah, 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 blah.
And defend actions. And it cannot be affected by reaction. Okay.
Yeah.
So you just do straight damage to max and min. Okay, go for it. And so
you know what? Since it can't be defended against, I'm going to do it on Silver Sage.
Okay.
Yeah. Because he still has a...
All right, you're going to teleport and go for him. All right. Holy cow. Max and min, that's going to be 16.
Wait, I got a +4 as well.
3.
Or something.
+3. So it's 19 damage. Okay.
What? Wow.
Tell me I dropped this fool, please.
You do.
Not yet.
as you teleport up, what does this look like? Because basically you're knocking him out.
This is straight Dragon Punch from Ryu from Street Fighter.
So you go up, you punch him as you spin around.
Haruken!
The panel is you see your fist like shadow through his energy. You hit his jaw. There's a snap of his jaw. As you see his head kind of turn down, he begins to fall to the ground. His sword drops down. As his sword drops down, as you do the punch, you teleport over and you catch the sword. But the Silver Sage is down. He's out.
Wow.
All right. With that, we now move. So you can now pass the action. Stripe has not gone yet.
Stripe is going. Yeah.
Okay. With that, Silver Sage, the Zeppelin begins to plummet. Grundy begins to plummet as well. And with that, Stripe is going to go and try to grab the top of the Zeppelin and use his boosters to try to slow the Zeppelin from landing in New York. Grundy is now plummeting to the ground. The Zeppelin is dropping. He's going to try to go and overcome and use his boosters. You know, he's like, you see Pat Dude's like, max power! As he's going to try to like overcome the falling Zeppelin. And with that, let's give a roll for him to kind of overcome this. So let's go to Stripe. He's going to try to... We're going to use Vitality, because that's a power of the suit itself. Actually, no, Strength. We'll go Strength. It's not close combat. It's not ranged combat. It's going to have to be Untrained Quality. Okay. So we're going to go Strength, Untrained, and at this point, we'll keep it in the yellow. Okay. So we're using the mid here, which is a 5. He is slowing it down. The twist is he's not stopping it, but he is slowing it down. Okay. With that, the action passes. He passes it to Grundy, as Grundy hasn't gone yet, and Grundy's like, "Whoa!" Like he's just basically falling out of the scene. He doesn't have an action. He's falling. And now we go to the environment. Now the environment, the is changed, and the clouds begin to dissipate as the controller of the sword has changed. But let me see if there's anything else the environment can do. Let me go look. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to advance the scene. We're in red. So I think the environment, the situation has gotten dire. The Zeppelin is falling. There's people in the Zeppelin. There's people under the Zeppelin. Grundy's falling out. So now the team is going to have to come together to figure out the Zeppelin. So now we're in red. And Stripe is going to pass it to Starbuck.
Awesome.
And you hear Stripe go, "Starbuck, help!"
Is the Zeppelin fallen?
Yes, he's basically grabbing part of it, using his boosters and trying to slow it, but it's still falling, it's still plummeting, but he is slowing it. He needs help.
All right, so I'm going to do the principle of the defender.
Okay.
Overcome a situation that requires me to hold the line and use my max die or use my mid die and defend with my min die.
Perfect. Okay.
Me and each of my allies gain a hero point.
All right. So what you're going to do is let's build a pool.
Yep.
And you're going to roll it and use your max die. We need a big die. Also, you haven't used your hero points yet.
I'll use them all.
Okay. Slowing it down. We're getting a +4 here. All right, so Starbuck, let's build a pool. It's going to be, you can go strength on this one.
Yeah. Or flight, either one.
Yeah, I think this is strength. You're like, as you're basically like using it. So let's go strength. I like the heart here. This is a heart. And we're in red. So let's roll it. And then, so max die +4.
Yes!
12!
Well, baby.
All right. The power
I
of
just say, Nazis, not today.
Also, as you're doing that, you notice that as Green Lantern's standing there, part of the power of the lantern itself seems to be emanating energy. As your strength, you see like your biceps getting larger from the power of the lantern itself is empowering you. You're able to hold up the Zeppelin using the strength from the lantern itself is kind of empowering you. So the panel is basically, you see Stripe holding it, but you are the one that's really holding this thing up. And the two of you together, as the scene, we're going to kind of progress the scene. The scene as it drops, you bring the whole Zeppelin down and land it safely to the streets. The gas kind of dissipates into the air as the wind is no longer swirling it. It's just kind of like it wasn't enough. Like it needed to get out. And you also have put together that somehow they were using the sword itself to use the sword somehow controls the weather.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm going to teleport up, grab his Silver Sage, and put him back into the thing before he's...
Okay, so you're capturing. So as all that's happening, there's a panel where you go and you capture Silver Sage for questioning or something. I don't know. With that, so the panel here is the Zeppelin's out of the ground. All the people are around. You see, some guys got like the camera and the bulbs are flashing as these heroes have arrived. But the big scene is Green Lantern kind of like hovering above, kind of calming the crowd. You see Stripe down. You see it's ripped open. You can see Pat Dugan sitting in there. So it's basically, I think New York Street, Robot, Green Lantern. You're like holding over Silver Sage, Grundy nowhere to be seen, and then Starbuck basically like still holding and like holding the top of the Zeppelin in the middle of the street. And with that, you see Green Lantern look over and goes, thanks for the assist. And he looks out, and in the bay in the distance, he goes, what is that? And with that, Green Lantern flies up. And with that, Starbuck, you see him fly up. You do so as well. And the panel is the two of you looking out into the distance. And in the distance, you see Lady Liberty. You see the Statue of Liberty, and you see something bubbling out of something large coming out of the ocean, and you hear Green Lantern goes, "The attack's not over. Those Nazis are up to more." And he looks over at you, and with that, he also goes, "I think I'm going to need your assistance. I think it's about time to deputize you fellas."
Ooh.
And with
Yes.
and with that, he reaches out, he grabs his ring, he points it to the sky, and in the sky, he projects this giant image into the sky.
What?
And with that, the symbol of this big green symbol emanates and alerts into the sky. And with that, he goes, "It's time for you to join, as I call, the Justice Society of America." And that's the end of the comic.
Nice.
That's awesome. That is dope.
All right.
Yeah.
So with that, the Mystery Men are going to be joining the Justice Society of America in our next issue as we continue the Battle of New York into the harbor. Something is happening in the ocean. They must defend Lady Liberty. And with that, what does the cover of this issue look like?
Oh, yeah, a battle scene on top with everybody.
It's just a big battle scene. I see like Stripe attacking Grundy.
Not Green Lantern, because that would spoil it for anybody buying the comic.
Yeah. Green Lantern can't be there.
Green energy off to the side, like it's coming in.
It's a tease.
You know?
It's a tease.
Yeah.
That's it, baby.
Exactly.
There he is.
Yeah.
All right, so we've been teasing Green Lantern in the game for a while. I had so much fun today creating Green Lantern using the Sentinel
That was
comics.
awesome.
You can make any power, any character. This system is awesome. It just the
That was
flexibility.
great, Trevor. That was awesome.
All right.
Great job, guys.
All right, well, hang on. So let's pause for a second. Let's pause for a second. So, guys, those of you watching, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back hopefully next week as we go to the second part of the Battle of New York, and as the Justice Society and the Mystery Men are coming together to fight. And in the back of it says next issue, Vandal Savage. So now we've got the big battle coming. Next issue. All right, so for that, thank you guys for watching. And with that, we will see you guys next week. So thanks, guys.
Awesome.
All right.